the demonstrations and the protests that have been going on in Minneapolis have actually escalated to a whole other level overnight. There has been some serious things going on in regards to it. There's also been an actual casualty overnight during the demonstrations in Minneapolis. And I got a little bit of a video, so here it is. Check it out.
Breaking overnight and into the early morning, the riots meant to bring justice to George Floyd's death have left another person shot and killed while chaos reigns over the city. A dark morning for this state, for this city. The last 12 hours of protests for George Floyd have made a chaotic turn, and this morning several parts of the city are on fire. It's happening right now. Feels like the anger is only growing. Protests have turned from very peaceful to very panicked and violent as riots in the city escalate. Breaking overnight, we learned at least one person has been killed during the riots. Police say he was found shot lying on the sidewalk of Lake Street. Officers were able to get to him. This reportedly happening outside or inside a pawn shop in this area. But that man later died at the hospital.
Earlier, Minneapolis Police Chief Madera Arredondo, who you just saw, spoke with us about the looting, urging
This is stupid. Okay, so, man, okay. Obviously, we can, you know, I don't mean to stop it there, but this is the thing. This is what frustrates me about demonstrations, about protests, etc. It turns from being something about someone to turning into material and selfish things. Everyone out there, I feel like a majority of people were out there to protest about the death, the unjustified death of a man, George Floyd. I can't breathe. When will it stop? When will it end? But then people like that we just saw that are raiding and looting Targets, as you saw, people just grabbing pillows, grabbing whatever they could. What good does that do, y'all? What point? Where's the point in that? Like, we've all of a sudden lost the point behind the demonstrations. Absolutely lost the point behind any of the protests. Now it's completely thrown out the window because of jerks like that. Oh, and trust me, those two people, especially those two people that we just saw jumping out of the window of a Target. When was the last time you ever said that? Yeah, I was jumping out of a window of a Target. We saw your face. Your face is right there in plain sight. I hope they arrest those people. My heart and my thoughts and prayers go out to every person that is being a subject of the looting, a subject of the arson that's going on, the unjustified arson. You know, the fires, the things that are going on that are escalating from this protest. And so that's why I wanted to open up the phone lines and have a conversation with you guys. I'd like to know what you guys think. Please, most definitely comment down below and let me know, or give us a call and let us know what you think in regards to what's going on in Minneapolis. So, I mean, we all got to get through this together. This is some crazy stuff. And I want to know. My heart and my thoughts and prayers go out to every person that is being a subject of the looting, a subject of the arson that's going on, the unjustified arson. You know, the fires, the things that are going on that are escalating from this protest. And so that's why I wanted to open up the phone lines and have a conversation with you guys. I'd like to know what you guys think. Please, most definitely comment down below and let me know, or give us a call and let us know what you think in regards to what's going on in Minneapolis. So, I mean, we all got to get through this together. This is some crazy stuff. And I want to know, you know, do you think that the looting and the arson and all that's going on right now, do you think that is justified or not? Do we have to destroy our own community to get our point across? Or is this something that's just going way too far? Comment down below. I'm going to throw it to the fellas. Guys, speak on it. What you think?
Well, I mean, first, like, a protester versus a rioter. A protester is there and being peaceful. A rioter turns everything violent. An individual that's going to balance that line. I mean, it depends on, what happened to you, growing up. Have the individuals that are going in and actually destroying locations, have they had previous altercations where they felt like they were taken advantage of, or they have just any type of, interaction with the police, or that led them to have a, even a stronger reaction? Like, is there something that people are trying to get back at, or are they just taking advantage of the situation and saying, here's three guys that are like, we're in a horrible spot because we haven't been able to work and we need stuff, and maybe this is the perfect chance to get in there. Somebody else is already in there. Let's go ahead and do it.
Which is terrible. I'm going to take this. I might lose you guys. Hello, you're on the phone with the Pascal Show.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. Hi. How y'all doing this morning?
We're doing good. Who am I speaking to?
This is Tamani78. I'm watching the show right now.
That's what's up. Hi. Thank you so much, Tamani.
Hi. Yes.
Yeah. So tell me, what are your thoughts on this whole situation, please?
Well, I just want to take a few minutes to just express, my what I feel about the situation that's been going on for 2 days.
All right.
And I'm gonna keep it brief. I promise you.
It's okay.
It's just right now. I'm just so numb this morning. My soul is really shook. And the reason being because I've lived, I'm not going to tell you my age because I am old, but I have lived through the era of Eric Gardner, when he was choked down by the NYPD.
Yeah.
And also the era of going to high school with the Rodney King situation. And I'm going to tell you this, right now as a black culture, this is not a good look. And the reason why I say this is because the message is getting lost. Now, I'm not saying that they shouldn't have been able to protest because everybody has a right to protest because it is our constitutional right. However, we already are being looked at on so many levels as the N-word. We're so many names that I can't even mention. And why give them another layer to us as a culture that we are not? And what I will say is to the family, I really, really, really feel sorry for both families. The Ahmaud situation, because I do live in Florida, so we're not that far from Brunswick, and we've seen how that play out. And I have had conversations, with certain police officers, because not all police are bad. And I know people may look at this as whatever, but not all policemen are bad. But what I will say is the rogue policeman in uniform makes it bad for the whole community. Because you do have police officers that want to make a change and that they want to protect and serve. But I have talked with police officers and I've asked them, okay, I understand that you guys have to go home to your families. And we understand that you guys are out here, you're trying to, get the bad guys. But what will happen one day when you get it wrong? And they couldn't answer that question. What will happen when one day come and you will get this wrong? And you know what, to be honest with you, Pascal, they got it wrong one time too many. And to see that man put his knee on that guy's neck and he's foaming at his mouth, it was just sickening to the core.
Yeah.
And so we've seen so many cases of the police departments protecting these guys, and it's so much technicality. And I mean, we've seen it all over the country, and I got to tell you, enough is enough. I mean, they're going to have to do something, because what we saw on the center stage, the looting, the damaging, the vandalizing, no, that's not right at all. Yeah. Because you got to live in these communities. I mean, are you going to build these communities back up when you tear them down? That was the wrong message to send. So what I'm saying as a whole is that there got to be a different response to this, and everybody from all races need to take a look at this and say, we have to do this different, because it's already, to me, what I feel with the coronavirus, you have a lot of stuff going on with this. A lot of people are without jobs. People don't have money coming in, even though the government shows, well, we're helping people, but they're not giving the true numbers. They're not helping everybody out here. You understand?
Absolutely.
And so Right. So this is what I'm going to say is a light to the fire. You knew that the tensions was building from this virus, but you never knew how far this would go. And this case right here, and for the news to keep playing this over and over again, to really be honest with you, this was the fire that was lit. And so what I see from this, even though the looting was wrong, all of it was wrong, but it's the anger and it's the tiredness and it's the fatigue of everything that is being thrown at us, and we have no help. We have no SOS. We have nothing to help us get us out of this situation.
Absolutely.
What do you expect these people to do?
Yeah.
So I just want people today looking at this show, I support the show,
Thank you.
we just got to do better. And we just have to figure this out. But I'm telling the government that's watching this, you got to change this situation around and do it fast.
Now,
because the coronavirus has already caused strife. People are losing their family members, and they want to make it a racial war all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm here to tell you, it's not just black people. It's all races all over that is going through with this stuff.
yes.
But I feel sorry for this family because it's not just them. It's the Ahmaud family and the community that's lost out too. And it's too many. We're losing too many people behind the improper way of trying to criminate people. Get the facts first.
Right.
Now, if the guy pulled a gun, I understand all that. You have to do what you have to do, but this guy was unarmed. You didn't get all the facts straight, and you was judge and jury on this man before taking this man to court or whatever he had to do. And it's sickening, and we're through and we're tired, and that's all I have to say.
Now, I got a question for you, though, real quick, because I completely agree
Sure.
with you with what you're saying. I love that you called in. Thank you, T-Money, for being on the show and speaking your mind about this, because it's nice to hear another voice, especially another black voice that's saying, hey, this is not
Yes.
helping. So let me ask you this then. What is the right way to get the message across without it turning into arson, vandalism, fires, the whole nine? What is, in your opinion, what do you think is a proper, effective way to get the point across about this is unjust and not right in that community?
Well, the peaceful protests, they should have kept it peaceful. This is what I'm going to say to that. The young people today, like we're doing right now, you have social media. Social media is the loudest voice that you could ever use. Technology, town hall. We've been doing that forever. But not only just town hall, on a local scale. Go to Washington. Instead of being in your own neighborhoods, get these people to listen to you. Go to the radio stations. It's many more ways. And like I told you, it's no right way that I could tell you today. All I could just tell you is in peaceful manners. If y'all could use Instagram and Facebook and Twitter to promote rappers and all this other stuff that y'all got going on, keep it peaceful like we've been doing. Even with the Ahmaud situation, you know what I did? Retweeted, posted him on my Facebook. When you start doing stuff like this and you call it like we're doing right now, call-ins. This is the peaceful place. Because I'm going to tell you right now, we're being everything but black. And I'm just being honest with you. The talks of, when I say WP and WS, this is not for everybody, so I'm not talking about you. If it's you, then I'm sorry. But the conversations they have at those tables, they laughing at us. Look at them ends. Look at them. Look at them. That's all they worth. They uneducated. They ghetto. They don't know how to act. You can't take them nowhere. Okay, they just made our case. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So stop giving these people reasons to look at us a different way. And I understand it because in our communities they say the same thing. Oh, well, you Uncle Tom and you this, that, and the third. That's not the case. Right now we are at a war. We're at a war we didn't even ask for.
True.
So to play it smart and to do it peacefully, sound your voice like you do everything else. When you want to promote hair, you want to promote music and all this stuff on your social media, do it a whole different way. That's all I'm saying.
T-Money.
Use your technology, your town halls, the radio stations, podcasts, call like we're doing right now. Call in. Thank you for that option.
Anytime.
Do that. But not tear up your own damn communities that you are not going to get out there. You don't have the money to fix them up. You're not going to fix them up because guess what? You taught this neighborhoods, and now you got to spend all this money on Lyft and Uber to go to the next county over to go and shop. Congratulations. That added another layer to us that we do not need. This is what I'm saying today.
You know what? I appreciate you calling in, T-Money, and speaking your mind all the way from Florida. Thank you for calling in on the Pascal Show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Y'all be blessed and stay safe. Thank you.
You too, sweetheart. Stay healthy.
All right.
Hello, you are with the Pascal on the Pascal Show. Who am I talking to?
Hey, you're talking to Kent.
Who is this again?
This is Kent.
Kent, what's up, my brother? Thank you so much for calling in on the Pascal Show. Speak on it, brother. What you think?
Hey, I am. I've watched all that unveiled last night in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
It is disappointing. It's stressful. It's sad, but it's just a reflection of people's anger. People are angry. They do not feel heard. They feel ignored.
Yeah.
And as a result, they're resorting to violence and looting, which I'm against. But this is something we need to listen to, and maybe it's time for us to really listen to each other. I think we have ignored each other and closed our eye, and we pretend everything is okay and we can move on. It's not okay. Nothing is okay.
So let me ask you this really quick. Where are you calling from? Just out of curiosity, Kent.
I'm calling from Iowa.
Iowa. That's what's up. Now, let me ask you, because I hear an accent. So where are you from originally, if you mind me asking?
I'm from Africa.
Oh, you're from Africa. Okay, so for being so now I understand that you are obviously you are an immigrant. You are here. You're not from here.
I'm an immigrant. I moved here 2 decades ago. I came here with a promise that this country was a country for all people from all creeds. When you grow up overseas, all you see in the media is, the United States is portrayed as this country, an ideal for all people, regardless of who they are. And we are finding out that all of this was just a marketing hoax. It's not as pretty as we thought it was. But we are here now, and we are citizens. Some immigrants become citizens, and we are part of it, and we're not going to turn our heads and move away. And we want to join everyone's hands and be part of the solution.
Right.
But this country has ignored issues for many years, and now it's popping out of the bottle here, and it's spilling all over the place.
Now, Kent,
I'm not feeling sorry for businesses. Businesses can endure that type of damage. Black people are screwed. They're screwed. You are screwed. I am screwed. Our children are screwed.
Now, can I ask you something?
There's no hope.
Can I ask you something, Kent? Given the fact that you are from Africa, did you see any types of demonstrations in Africa that were of this, that escalated to this kind of level? Hold on, Kent. That actually worked out. That actually worked for the better. Did you ever see any demonstrations like this?
I'll tell you something. In Africa, there are no demonstrations. It's just not a thing. If you go on the street, you're pretty much signing up for a death sentence. Africans have endured brutality and dictatorship and chaos for many years. We don't protest. There's no such thing as protesting in Africa. You just roll with it. And the reason black people and immigrants are protesting here is because they do not want this place to be just like where they came from. They're hoping for something better. That's why people come here. And when they realize that they've spent all this energy and time and money to make it here, to encounter more problems, we say no. And we know we can be better than this. The police in Minneapolis could have done better. We've seen shootings and triggers go off, but that knee on the neck from start to end it's something.
It's terrible. It's terrible. So I appreciate you saying what you said, Kent, because in regards to in your country, in Africa, it's something that, you know, it's a death sentence. And that kind of hit me really hard, that we are, sounds very messed up, but we are kind of lucky enough to have our voice heard, to assembly, to speak out, to protest, to make a demonstration. And you're right, as far as the businesses go, they have insurance, they'll be covered. You know, just because they're getting burned down doesn't mean that they haven't have the insurance to cover the things that need to be covered in regards to arson, looting, X, Y, and Z. But at the same time, it does, to me, and I feel like T Money said the same thing. It hinders the economy. It hinders what the neighborhood and the area that you're actually destroying. Now, I understand that what happened with George Floyd was absolutely wrong, completely messed up, totally wrong. But I keep thinking that there's got to be a way to peacefully protest, to peacefully get the word and your voice out there without actually destroying things and showing, rating a target. You see what I'm saying, Kent?
Right. I agree. I am against, I'm in business too, and I don't want to see that happen to me. But this is a reflection. I think destruction is a reflection that we haven't heard people, and people are tired of doing it peacefully, and they're shifting. Those folks have no hope, and they don't actually know what to do, so they're resorting to violence.
Yeah.
Just like a kid, right?
Yeah.
If you have children, they go into temper tantrum because they just go out. They just lose the ability to communicate. They're stuck, and so we leaders have to proactively approach those people and tell them we are ready to listen and we're going to do something about it. What you're not seeing is the governor of Minnesota, for example, speaking. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
The mayor of Minneapolis has spoken, but you need to see the governor of the senators, the Congress folks of Minnesota. They need to go on TV. They need to speak. They need to bring the chief police. He needs to speak. The president should speak about it. That's what's lacking. The silence is loud.
Yeah.
And the fact that police officer stood on top of an innocent person and it took 48 hours to take action indicates that, there is still room for mediocrity. So you can do bad things and we'll give you a few days and we can process it. Mm-hmm. That knee on the neck should have been a direct fire, not administrative paid leave for a day and then he should be charged. The fact that everything is taking long sends us a message that some people are, quote unquote, okay with it or can take their time. We can't take our time. We can't. But the silence, Pascal, the silence is the problem. People are rioting because they've realized that, wait a second, no one else is speaking. Yeah. And the news, if you go online, major news channel, they're not yet covering it. So people are raising the alarm so that it becomes a national topic. Right now, it's all about COVID, which is okay. But people are feeling ignored and they're resorting to violence. I'm against it, but it's a reflection of the lack of empathy towards them.
Absolutely. Kent, thank you so much for calling all the way from Iowa. I really appreciate it, my brother. Please, call anytime. We'd love to hear your voice more often on the show, Kent. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Stay healthy.
Hey, Pascal. This is Enemy Nation.
What's up, man? Enemy, what's up, man? Where you calling from, by the way? Where you calling from?
I called you the other day under my personal account, Cash Busby. I'm calling from San Antonio.
Oh, okay, right on. Oh, sorry. Thank you. I'm putting it all two and two together. So please, yes, tell me what's up. What do you think about the whole protest and everything? Speak on it, brother.
Well, kids will be kids, man. Youth, young people, showing their adulthood, their young adulthood. They don't need really much to set off stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, our country is about riding. I mean, that's what we do. The first person to die before the Independence War, the U.S., was Crispus Attucks, which started a riot, which sparked off the Revolutionary War. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but these are young people. They get into it with authority, and if you got a chance to throw rocks at cop cars and burn down buildings and burn down stuff that you didn't build yourself, you haven't lived long enough to appreciate stuff that you haven't created yourself.
Yeah.
It's just like a kid. Most kids growing up, they hate rules. They don't understand why they're in place because they're not the ones that's put them in place. So as far as the riots are concerned, you got agitators that are paid to agitate crowds and get them riled up, and that crowd is going to do what it wants to do.
Right.
5% of those people actually care about Floyd. The other 95 don't care.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to tear up stuff. You can look at you can YouTube the 1993 Super Bowl riot when the Cowboys won. Black people were beating white people and Hispanics silly. There was 500,000 people out there beating people up. You know what I'm saying? They were rioting, tearing up cars, breaking into stores, looting. There was no murder. There was no death. Now, Occupy Wall Street, the reason why it wasn't violent is because you're talking about people that have jobs.
Yeah.
You're talking about people that have families. You're talking about an older crowd. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you get the youth out there, 17, 18 years old, and, basically have anarchy without impunity or with impunity, then guess what? That's what you get.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think I also do think that there was a mixture. I think that there were, and this is just a theory, but I think that it is a mixture of people who wanted to escalate it to the elements of a riot, and then there were actual peaceful protesters at first, and then people who come in that want to shake the rafters and shake the very foundation of that city came in and started to just run amok. I do think that.
Have you ever seen Do the Right Thing?
Absolutely. Come on now.
Okay, you remember that part? Remember that part where the white guy ran on the guy's shoe?
Yep.
And they were just talking. He was like, "Hey man, you ran on my shoe." And he was like, "Oh man, I'm sorry."
Right.
Right. So, the guy was like, well, these are my Air Jordans, man. He was like, "Are you serious?" So they were beginning dialogue, right?
Right.
Then you see these other people come in, and they start whispering in his ears like little, I forget those little angels and devils on the shoulders. I forget the name of that, but they started whispering in his ear. No, he was talking about your mama. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how right. I grew up in the inner city. So I'm well familiar with playing the dirty. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you say something about somebody's, brother and their sister, and then you say something about their mom, and then that person, they can incite themselves. Like, I can't believe you was talking about my mama. My mama. You know what I'm saying? And they hype themselves up, convince themselves that they were in the right, this person's in the wrong, and now you have an altercation. And this is just psychological. Groupthink is groupthink. It turns into mob think.
Yeah.
Lynch mobs, you don't never see a lynch mob of one person. It's always herd thought. And as far as the guy from Africa, he was like, "Hey, look, I thought this was this way, and I thought it was that way." This is what our country is. You're going to have youth you know, and then you're going to have older crowds. Dr. King wasn't no 17, 18-year-old boy.
Facts.
So he advocated peaceful because he understood that, look, you can tear up your neighborhoods. You can tear up other people's neighborhoods. That's not how we get down. We're going to peacefully protest.
Right.
That's why he is an icon in American history, where someone like Malcolm X, which you never even saw any riots with Malcolm X, even in the movie X, they were there, always there peacefully, but they wanted to get stuff done. You know, they wanted to show a force. They wasn't tearing and burning down stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The big riot in Watt, that was an altercation between the police, but it wasn't, you know, police pulled somebody over,
right?
And the person, you know, didn't want to come peacefully, and then they got into an altercation. Somebody got killed, and then here goes these riots. But you're gonna always have people that agitate these riots for political purposes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right now, they're gonna shove this down our throat for the next 20 or so days, or 10 or so days, probably 5 to 6 at least. Until, you know, because it's a political tool.
Right.
You know. So
yeah. I mean, I'm interested to see where this goes, where the media continues to take it, where it actually goes, you know, as far as the events that are going on in Minneapolis. I'm interested to see what happens, you know, here in the near future. Obviously, none of it is good. Is you know, no matter what it sprouted from, why this is happening in Minneapolis right now is terrible. You know, of course, but yeah, I definitely see your point. You know, but then of course there's still so many open-ended questions that we can lay out here and talk about, of course. I mean, you know, Yagwit on Periscope, thank you so much for commenting, said this: they've given nothing to live for. They've given nothing to live for, but everything to die for. These young people are ready.
Yeah, they ready with, you know, the young people are ready. That's why young people go to the military. That's why you can go to, they don't want nobody that's, you know, 25, you're too old to join the military, really, in their eyes. You know, they want people that are 18, willing to die, willing to go and tear up stuff. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So, I mean,
yeah, it's some people doing young people stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, as long as people don't, I mean, there was a guy that you said that was killed, right? He was killed by another so-called protester. He wasn't killed by cops. So, I mean, you know, it's just people doing what they do. It's white people out there looting. It's Hispanic, you know, it's every ethnicity out there, or race, you want to call it, out there looting. You know what I'm saying? They're not caring about Floyd and his death and all that. They're doing what they have an excuse to do. They have an excuse to do it. Yeah. They can do it, so they're going to do it and let the everybody else sort out the mess. You know, you can't give a decision on whether to charge somebody with murder or whatever, because if you overcharge them or undercharge them, charge them too soon, you'll see what happens with you know, they'll get out of it.
Right.
So you have to get all the evidence. You have to get everything so you can charge this person, because you only got one shot.
Right.
And that's, you know, that's the double jeopardy clause. You only got one shot, so you have to get it right. And it's just, in this particular instance, you don't want a repeat of Trayvon Martin, so they're taking their time. But if that's not translated to the masses, then of course you're going to have this type of thing happen: riots, looting, et cetera, and then they're going to blame it on the virus and quarantine and cabin fever or whatever. But, you know, that's, like you said, we can go on and on and on. I just wanted to give you a little food for thought.
Yes, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate you dishing those thoughts and everything. And I know that everybody out here is listening and definitely have opinions on top of what you said. So, Cash, or AKA Enemy, thank you so much for calling in. We always love you calling in, of course. San Antonio, calling all the way from San Antonio. Thank you so much for calling into the Pascal Show, my brother. Stay blessed, all right?
Thank you, bro.
Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.